And now we're at the cathedral, the Church of Santa Maria. Out front we have horses and carriages. Oh, and there's the Roman temple. Construction started in 1180. Consecrated in 1308.
It starts like a very thick building, very solid. It's the Romanesque style. The height, the elegance, they try to get closer to God.
Started with Romanesque style and then has some Gothic characteristics too. The 12 Apostles in white marble, and up here says 1692. They have an active church and they have daily mass. 18th century pipe organ that's playing. Pipe organ has not only vertical pipes, but horizontal pipes. It's an Iberic style. Over here is Mary. Oh, and she's pregnant. 14th century. And accuracy was not important. The message was important, which was that she was pregnant, and so the hand is much larger.
The baby that she's holding is
The stomach is red, and red was the color of the king. Red was a hard color to come by. The gold surroundings is Baroque, 18th century. Angel Gabriel over here is Renaissance, where accuracy was more important. This is an 18th century organ, and that's the one that's playing. Here's the high altar. This is all marble.
Is the brightest.
Mary's represented by the morning star, and that's what's represented in this window. These are original windows. Survived the earthquake. This is the baptismal font, because you couldn't really come into the church proper until you were baptized. And here's Jesus being baptized by John the Baptist. The Roman temple that's 2nd century BC. 4th century AD, the Visigoths conquered the Romans, and they took most of this for building stones, but they left a bit. View of the back of the cathedral. Pretty impressive. Thinking this might be one of the other gates into the city. There were 4, and here's a big tower up here where you could look out for your enemies approaching. Here's where the Roman temple is, on the highest point of the hill up here. What a beautiful view they had, and what a beautiful view we have.
Part of the church. It was a lot of the government buildings in Lisboa today are in old convents as a result, and they never went back to the church. So this was the case of the place we're staying until the place was falling into ruins, and there was a young real estate agent, part of a very wealthy family, and he saw this and he said, "Wouldn't that be the most beautiful place to restore? We should really buy it." So they did. And the government put in about 20% of the overall price, and it's now historically protected, this place that we're staying. And Starwood came in, and now you're supposed to maintain it. So the family put all the money in to redo the entire thing, and then these other 2 factors, the government and Starwood, are supposed to help with the upkeep. Having a glass of wine at lunch and putting us in the ditch.
This will be brown
he
like
takes his
California.
job very seriously. They didn't get him from anywhere. You know, he was in the army. He tried to find it. And coming up on the right is our property. Can you see it in the distance? A big white, beautiful building.
It's a light, airy church.
Was built in 1458, but the history starts at least 150 years before. There are some books who say that around the year 1300 there was a miracle and someone has seen the image of the Virgin Mary over there, where they have placed the image now, on top of a thorn bush. And thorn bush in Portuguese we translate Espinheiro. So the name of this hotel, Convento do Espinheiro, means literally the convent of the thorn bush, right? And
Bishop.
he had a dream. He wanted to build a convent here, and he wanted to donate everything that he owned, but it was still not enough. So he had a meeting with the King of Portugal. They were close friends. And he explained to the king what he wanted to do, and he asked the king to help. And the king immediately said, well, I will pay for everything, but with one condition. You must build for me and my family accommodation there, because we visit Evora frequently. Evora was, at the time, the second city of the kingdom.
This dates to 1690.
In this Baroque kind of decoration. Actually, when we rebuilt the building, most of the gold was already peeling and was gone, so it had to be redone. But the original one was 1690, and it was paid by the gentleman that is over there, who was 50 years before. He was the vice king of Portugal. During a period where we lost our independence to Spain, the king was in Spain, and the number 2 was in Evora. His house.
St. Jerome compiled the first Bible in the 8th century on request from the Pope. He spoke 5 languages and collected all these documents and put it together, and it's still fairly similar today.
Some people say that they see some
Artists from
similarities
Florence.
in the kind of art you see in Taj Mahal in India and so on. That's because they also have influences from the Italian schools. One thing we have in common is also the marble stones. In this region, you have one of the most important producing places of marble in Europe.
This is a beautiful pipe organ up here, at least below the pipe organ. And there we have the vertical pipes as well as a few horizontal pipes. It's like the bars down the stairs.
Yeah, they were stopped at 1834, otherwise they would probably have that. This is our cloister. It was built in 1519 during the period of King Manuel, and the art style, we call it Manuelite. You've seen it in Lisbon for sure, so it's nothing new to you.
This was the wine cellar in the days when this was a monastery, except they called it now a restaurant. Now we're in the wine cellar. It is cool in here, as a wine cellar should be.
This was the cistern.
Oh, this was the cistern.
Water was coming from those falls, and they had this reservoir until 2008. We have such a variety of grapes, why don't we use what is local? There are grapes already here.
This is Alentejo.
And the variety is enormous. In Portugal, you can find more than 200 varieties of grapes that are suitable to make quality wine. Obviously, we don't use all of them, but maybe 20 or 30 are very good.